remember I read and saw a movie about the first time someone climbed Mount Everest. The struggle, the cold, the suffering. You do big things like that, you become famous. Everyone knows your name. But at times, inner struggles are just as hard, are just as difficult, and are just as great accomplishment and a milestone to achieve. And so tonight, Jaluan shared some of her journey to overcome two fears. Fears of failing and fears of sharing yourself. And as almost always, beautifully structured, logical, stepwise, great pacing. You could even see the sequence of the experiences from the childhood, creating the fears, the efforts to overcome them with stories about facts, and then stories about things much closer to home. Really, really well done. Always well done. I don't think anybody was like lost or confused. Great pacing. And then one thing I would kind of share on this journey, because over the course of all these speeches, I think we've seen you kind of climb that mountain to a great extent during these 15 speeches. Phantom of the Opera is still one of my favorite speeches I've seen in here. I would say, though, that there's two elements of sharing for yourself. One is sharing things that are truly close and important to you and events that cut close, and you've done a lot of that. Another thing that I would challenge you to do as you keep developing as a speaker and kind of climbing this mountain is to take the emotions and the thoughts that are inside and bring them out more. So for example, when you're going through and somebody, as you're a kid trying to make a new friend and they're saying you shouldn't even be in this country, that was kind of given as, well, it's very professional and this thing and this horrible childhood trauma happened to me. And, you know, like, let us feel more what's inside. Use pauses. Yell when you're angry, or, you know, take us on the journey of being this shy, frightened kid walking into school and then facing that. Like, also bring a window into your emotions through vocal variety. Like, your pacing, your speech is great, but it's very consistent. Use the ups, use the downs, use the pauses, use the way you move around to kind of let people see what's going on inside of you on the outside. And that's probably the next step, because the ability to share these events and to open yourself up and to talk about things you don't want to talk about, I think you've done that beautifully. And everybody's drawn closer to you. You know, your fear of this, something bad will happen, no. Everybody knows you and likes you even more. So I think that mountain's conquered, and the next one is really in the emotional side. And that's where I'd urge you to take the next steps. All right?